Hi, everybody. Welcome you all for one another Seek webinar. And I'm going to talk about the most common topic, that is conflict resolution today. And this happens in every one of our lives, and we really don't know how to resolve those conflicts because every one of us wanted to have a happy life. So let me discuss with you, or let me start in this webinar about conflict resolution to some extent, and we will see further proceedings of different stages of how to resolve the conflicts. And let me share my screen. So we are in the 36th webinar of Seek. And today we're going to talk about the conflict resolution skills. Actually, we need to develop some skills to control our emotions, control our anger, or any emotion that comes and which burst out as a fight, and which creates a conflict between relationships, because the conflict is a normal part of any healthy relationship. After all, two people can't be expected to agree on anything or everything all the time. It is not at all possible because they are two different people. The key is not to avoid conflict, but to learn how to resolve it in a healthy way, because it happens, it has to happen if we are normal human being. And only thing what we can learn is how to understand, and how we are going to handle these conflicts. That is what is everything about, because resolving techniques, resolving skills is very, very essential. Because everywhere, right from the child, if you see small children's, they have conflicts, they have difference of opinion. Parents and children have difference of opinion, husband and wife have difference of opinion, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law have difference of opinion. Even parents and children have the elder age also, they have conflicts. And in workplace, especially in workplace, a lot of people, they don't get along with people and they have a lot of conflicts. And in society, the way, the place where we live, in our apartment, everywhere we may have difference of opinion which ends up in a conflict. And we need to be really, really cautious about how we can resolve it. That is what is the best way to mend the relationships. Because whatever the cause of disagreements and disputes, by learning these skills for conflict resolution, you can keep your personal and professional relationships strong and growing. Because we need to have good relationship with everybody, only then all the things whatever we want will happen. So what causes this conflict? Let us start from the beginning, like where it starts, how it starts. The conflict arises from differences, both large and small. Sometimes, or many times, it may be small. It occurs whenever people disagree over their values, motivations, perceptions, ideas, or even desires. They have a different view. People have different views, and they don't get along. They have a lot of misunderstandings and differences, which leads to this conflict. So this is what is the ultimate source. And sometimes these differences appear trivial, but when a conflict triggers strong feeling, a deep personal need is often at the core of the problem. And we need to, these needs can range from the need to feel secure, safe and secure. Many times during these conflicts, we get this feeling that we need to feel safe and secure, or respected and valued. We need to be respected and valued, to the need for greater closeness and intimacy. The exactly, if I want to say, all these expectations only leads to disappointments. If you just consider a child and the parent, the child will have a different motive of exploring a lot of things. It will not think about the consequences. It just wanted to explore, it just wanted to learn. So think about the opposing needs of a child or a toddler and a parent. The child's need is to explore, so it will venture into every aspect in its life, right? From the kid, a toddler, a small kid would like to go onto the street and see what is happening. But what will happen to the parent? Parent will be scared. The parent will be scared. What will happen to my child? I'm worried about the safety. If you just consider a teenager, my god, a lot of explorations they do, a lot of things they wanted to experience and they wanted to learn, and that they will be having a lot of energy and they will be adventurous. But the parents need is to protect the child's safety. The intentions are different. The intentions do not get along with all of us. There will be a generation gap, there will be a lot of communication gap. So all these things lead to conflict. And the needs of each party, whoever it is, plays an important role in the long-term success of the relationships. Because everybody wanted to be friendly, but when there is a difference, of course there will be difference. We cannot expect two people to be of same thinking. They need not accept to us all the times. But what do they expect? Each deserves respect and consideration. You may have difference of opinion. You may have differences in your thoughts. But what happens? We need to have a strong respect. You need to respect somebody. That is what is the ultimate of everybody. Like, you need to be respected. That is what is the minimum we expect from anybody. Next comes the lack of understanding. In personal relationships, actually, a lack of understanding about differing needs can result in a distance or arguments and breakups. This is what happens because that is what we call it as an miscommunication, or a lack of communication, or generation gap, or any different word you say. Like, you talk something and they don't understand, and they talk something and you don't understand. So that is what we call it as a lack of understanding. And finally, in the workplace, differing needs. What will happen if you have fight in your workplace? That differing needs can result in broken deals. You fight with a customer, what will happen? You will not get any more orders. You will have damage on your deals and the profit, and decreased profits, and also the employee may lose jobs if they have conflict. So that is what we need to keep in mind. You may have conflicts and you will have conflicts, but how to resolve? When you can recognize conflicting needs and are willing to examine them with compassion and understanding, it can lead to create problem solving, team building, and a stronger relationship. So that is what we need to do. So we need to first of all understand how we can mend those differences, how we can bring the people together by increasing the understanding level. And coming to this conflict, a conflict is more than just a disagreement. It is not only the wordings what we disagree with each other. It is something more than that. It is a situation in which one or both of them perceive a threat, whether or not the threat is real. That sort of feel comes into picture. The conflicts continue to fester when ignored. Some people don't try to resolve, they just leave it like that, because conflicts involve perceived threats to our well-being and survival. They stay with us until we face and resolve them. So always, if at all you have a conflict in your personal relationship or in your professional relationship, you need to take an initiative to mend it. You need to face and resolve it. And we respond to conflicts based on our perception, because from our point of view we think we see different things. If you just see this picture, you can see two different things in this picture. One, you can see a man, and the other one a woman. So it depends upon how you see the picture. So perceptions create a lot of differences between two people, and the conflicts are generally based on perceptions of the situation. We assume things. It may not really be true, but we assume, yes, that is the intention of the other person. But not necessarily to an objective review of the facts. But our perceptions are influenced by our life experiences, our culture, our values, and our beliefs. We cannot blame ourselves because we have been experiencing, seeing a lot of people, how they behave. And that may be the reason why we think and we go into difference of opinion. And conflicts triggers strong emotions. Here is what we need to have a control on, because emotions plays a major role. We have seen a lot about emotional intelligence, and until or otherwise we have a control over our emotions, our relationships cannot be smoother. If you aren't comfortable with your emotions or able to manage them in times of stress, then you won't be able to resolve the conflict successfully, because we will react rather than responding. So emotions are under our control is the situation which will help you to resolve any conflicts immediately or in the immediate future. That is very, very essential. Controlling your emotions needs practice, for which you need to have an emotional intelligence. Conflicts are an opportunity for growth. When you are able to resolve the conflicts have two phases actually. One is to damage your relationship, and once you resolve it, it also gives you an alternative opportunity. It builds trust. You can feel secure knowing your relationship can survive challenges and disagreements, because when two people fight and they know how to resolve it, then they can be assured in future that even if they fight, they can resolve it. That sort of trust should be there in any relationship. Then how do you respond to conflict? Many times, just imagine from your young age, you might have had fights and difference of opinions and conflicts with many people in your life. Just recall and see, how do you respond to that conflict? Do you fear conflict or avoid it all cost? If your perception of conflict comes from painful memories from early childhood or previous unhealthy relationships, you may expect all disagreements to end badly. Some people will fear actually, oh my God, I won't come there, I won't talk to that person. Always it ends up with a bad relationship. We never get along. That fear will be there because you already have experienced such disagreements. So that is one way. And you may view conflict as demoralizing. It may be humiliating or something to fear. Even throughout the night, even when you're sleeping, the same thought will be coming into your mind. If your early life experiences left you feeling powerless or out of control, conflict may even be traumatizing for you. And if you're afraid of conflict, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you enter a conflict situation already feeling threatened, it's tough to deal with the problem at hand in a healthy way. Instead, you are more likely to either shut down or blow up in anger. When we do not know how to handle it, we burst out with. That is what ultimately we do. We just throw out the words out of anger. Healthy and unhealthy ways of managing the and resolving conflict. This is very, very important. So when I'm going to tell you about both the things, like how healthily you can manage conflict and resolving conflict, and unhealthily how we do. So here we can analyze or assess and recall how we do. So let us take one example. The first one, unhealthy response, like an inability to recognize and respond to the things that matter to the other person. Healthy response is the capacity to empathize with the other person's viewpoint. So empathy or empathizing is something like you are able to understand how the other person feel or how they look at the other, that point. If you are able to empathize, then the conflict will not occur at all. Even if they talk something, you'll be able to understand their position and the situation. And second one, explosive, angry, hurtful, and resentful reactions. So this is what we give, and that is very unhealthy. So what is healthy? Calm, non-defensive, and respectful reactions. You have to control. You have to smile. You need to bear it. You need to give some time. You have to be calm. You have to be extra calm during those situations. Third one, the withdrawal of love resulting in rejection, isolation, shaming, and fear of abandonment. So this happens when two people, when they like each other, when they are in love, they break up. How the breakup happens? Because of the conflicts. And the unhealthy response to that is withdrawal of love. Then healthy way, how do you do it? The readiness to forgive and forget. It happens, it happens. So let us forgive, because relationships are more important. And to move the past, the conflict, without holding resentments or anger. Don't keep anything in your mind. Just forget about it. Think about why you like a person rather than thinking about the conflict. And fourth one, an inability to compromise or see the other person's side. So you're not ready to compromise. You already decided in your mind that the other person is wrong. That is an unhealthy way. Then healthy response is the ability to seek compromise and avoid punishing. Okay, fine. Let us see how we can mend this problem. Let us give some time. Let us talk it out. Let us understand. Let us forgive. Let us forget. Because punishing is not our job. Punishing is not our job. So let us not get into that at all. And finally, feeling fearful or avoiding conflict, expecting a bad outcome. So this is an unhealthy one. And healthy is a belief that facing conflict ahead on it is the best thing for both the sides. Okay, fine, let us face it. It's going to happen. It's an experience. We will learn about people also. So that is how you need to healthily respond to conflicts. Next, conflict resolution, stress and emotions. As I said, it all focuses on your emotions. Conflict triggers strong emotions and can lead to hurt feelings, disappointment, and discomfort. These are all different emotions you will get. And when handled in an unhealthy manner, it can cause irreparable rifts, resentments, and breakups. As I said, unhealthy manner, we have seen a lot of things. So if you are going to handle that, you're going to have a breakup, you are going to have an enemy, you're going to have some bad experiences in your mind. But when conflict is resolved in a healthy way, it increases your understanding of the other person. Yes, definitely, because when you have a conflict, when you speak out, the person will come out with their feelings and their expressions and what they feel about it. So you will be able to understand them better, and it will build trust and strengthens your relationships. So that is what we need to look upon. And if you're out of touch with your feelings or so stressed that you can only pay attention to a limited number of emotions, you won't be able to understand your own needs. So you need to have a control over your emotions, and you need to have emotional intelligence. Once again, I would like to empathize on how you react on situations. That emotions you need to understand and be able to manage your emotions, control your emotions, know your emotions. So these are all the things which is going to give you a good result. And then this will make it hard to communicate with others and establish what's really troubling you. So if you don't control your emotions, if you just react, if you don't want to understand others, then this will cause a miscommunication. And for example, couples, many people often argue about petty differences and the way they hang the towels, the way they do things, the way they keep the kitchen, and the way they cook, the way they dress, everything. And everything will end up with the conflict, because you start finding fault. The ability to successfully resolve conflict depends upon your ability to manage stress quickly. This is what is the first step. Manage stress quickly while remaining alert and calm. You need to manage, you need to control, for which you need to be aware of your emotions and stress. And you need to stay calm, and you can accurately read and interpret verbal and non-verbal communications. So this is what staying calm will help you to do all these things and control your emotions and behavior. When you are in control of your emotions, you can communicate your needs without threatening, without intimidating or punishing others. No need to punish others, no need to scold others, no need to hurt others with words. Just have control over your emotions and try to understand people and pay attention to the feelings being expressed as well as spoken words of others. So try to pay attention how they are, how they show their body language, what they talk, how they express their feelings. Stay calm, give some time, everything will settle. And be aware of and respect differences. Understand, yes, it is there. Even with a mother and child, there will be differences. Even with husband and wife, you will have differences. Between two children, there will be differences. Within home, you have so many differences. Why can't you expect the same outside also? By avoiding disrespectful words and actions, you can almost always resolve a problem faster. And to successfully resolve a conflict, you need to learn and practice two more skills, two core skills, that is quick stress relief, the ability to quickly relieve stress in a moment. So stress management is very, very essential. And emotional awareness, as I keep on telling about your emotional awareness or the emotional intelligence, the ability to remain comfortable enough with your emotions to react in constructive ways, even in the midst of a perceived attack. Whatever may happen, you need to be balanced and calm. You should not react. You should try to respond. And quick stress relief. Let us see what are all the methods. Being able to manage and relieve stress in the moment is the key to staying balanced, focused, and in control, no matter what challenges you face. And if you do not know how to stay centered and in control of yourself, then you will become overwhelmed in conflict situations and you will not be able to respond in healthy ways. So out of control is going to damage everything in your life. And stress interferes with the ability to resolve conflict by limiting your ability to read accurately, read another person's non-verbal communication, that is the body language, and hear what someone is really saying. Give some ear to them and hear what others are really saying, and be aware of your own feelings. Be aware of your own feelings and be in touch with your deep rooted needs and communicate your needs clearly. These are all the tips, and these are effective tips which are going to help you to resolve any conflict. And is stress a problem for you? You may be so used to feeling stressed that you're not even aware you're stressed. You may not know that you are stressed, but others may feel it. So stress may pose a problem in your life if you identify with the following, like you often feel tense or tight somewhere in your body. You can just feel it. You can just give some time and sense it, feel it. Whether you feel tight somewhere, maybe your hands, your legs, your chest, your stomach, your face, you're not able to smile, that is also a sense, and you're not aware of the movement in your chest or stomach when you breathe. So that shows that you have a grip there. You have some tightened feel there. So that is another thing which will signal, which will give you to understand. And conflict absorbs your time and attention. So these are all the three things which will help you to understand that, yes, I'm in stress. And emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is the key to understanding yourself and others. If you don't know how or why you feel a certain way, you won't be able to communicate effectively or resolve disagreements. And although knowing your own feelings may sound simple, many people ignore to try to sedate strong emotions like anger, sadness, and fear. And your ability to handle conflict, however, depends on being connected to these feelings. If you're afraid of strong emotions, or if you insist on finding solutions that are strictly rational, your ability to face and resolve differences will be limited. And why emotional awareness is the key factor in resolving conflict. Emotional awareness is everything. The consciousness of your moment to moment, moment to moment to moment, emotional experience, and the ability to manage all of your feelings appropriately. That is what is the basis of communication, and this is what is going to solve or resolve your conflict. And emotional awareness helps you to understand what is really troubling other people. It helps you to understand yourself, including what is really troubling you. And it also helps you to stay motivated until the conflict is resolved. And also, it helps you to communicate clearly and effectively. And also, it will help you to interest and influence others. So, you have so much of benefits in emotional awareness. So assessing your level of emotional awareness, what kind of relationship do you have with your emotions? Do you experience feelings that flow, encountering one emotion after the another as your experiences change from moment to moment? You need to sense these things now. Whatever I'm showing now, you need to sense. Are your emotions accompanied by physical sensations that you experience in places like your stomach or chest? Or do you experience distinct feelings and emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, or joy, which are evident in different facial expressions? And can you experience intense feelings that are strong enough to capture both your own attention and that of the others? Do you pay attention to your emotions? Do they factor into your decision making? So you need to understand what is that your emotions talk to you, and you need to experience the emotions, how they are at different situations. If any of these expressions are unfamiliar, your emotions may be turned down or even off. In either case, you may need help developing your emotional awareness. So let me end this webinar with here, and we will meet in the next webinar, continuation of the conflict resolution related to emotional awareness. I will help you to improve your emotional intelligence. Stay blessed. Thank you. So we will meet again in our next webinar, and we will also be focusing on some case studies of this conflict resolution. Thank you so much.